Today's story is the leaky basket. Once upon a time, there was a fisherman who had a wife. His wife was very beautiful, but she was very lazy. And so when the fisherman went to go get fish, he said, "Wife, wake up, come on, let's go help get fish, bring the basket." She's like, "Oh, I'm too lazy, I don't want to wake up." She's like, "Come on, I need help." Okay, so she grabs the basket, but the basket has a big hole in the bottom. So the fisherman is fishing with the net and fishing, gets the fish, throws it into the basket. She collects it into the basket and the fish just falls back out the bottom. For 5 hours he's fishing and fishing and fishing. He gets a whole bunch of fish, and then they look into the basket and there's not a single fish. While they were working and doing this, the girl was complaining the whole time. The lazy wife was like, "Oh, this is so boring. I'm so hot. I'd rather be sleeping. I'd rather be shopping. This is so boring." At that same time, there was a really rich merchant and his wife in a boat. They were coming to sell things to the fishermen. And when the wife, she saw the leaky basket, she says, "Hey husband, can we stop and help them? Like, let's tell them that they have a leaky basket. Because with a leaky basket, they'll never make any money. They'll work all day and never make any money. Let's help them." And so the merchant was like, "Why do you care so much about them? You like him or something? He's so handsome or something? Why do you care? Pay attention to our family." But then when he looked down, he saw the beautiful girl. And he's like, "Oh, well, she's very beautiful. Okay, maybe we'll stop down and talk." And the more he looked at the beautiful girl, the more he wanted her. The more the wife started talking, the more he got annoyed. So he said something really weird. And he says, "How about this? Why don't we switch wives? You take my wife, I take your wife. How about that?" The fisherman's like, "No, I love my wife. Why would I want to do that?" But the lazy wife said, "I want to switch. You look like you're rich. I'd rather be with a rich man than a poor fisherman." And he's like, "What? You would leave me?" She's like, "Yes, I would. I want a better life." And so they switched wives. But right when they switched wives, things started to change. The first thing that the nice wife did was fix the basket. Once they fixed the basket, all the fish that they got filled the basket. And so after only 1 hour, they could go home. The first thing the wife taught him was, "Hey, before we eat, share." So they took the fish out of the basket and shared it with all the neighbors. And now the neighbors are like, "Wow, this guy never shared before. His old wife was really rude and mean. Suddenly he's sharing." And so now he has a lot of friends. The next day, the fisherman goes out into the forest to cut some firewood. He comes back with 2 big bunches of firewood, and he's going to use it for firewood. But his wife says, "Wait a minute, this wood is very valuable. We can sell it on the market and make a lot of money." He's like, "Really? I didn't know that. I thought it was just firewood." And so she went to one friend, borrowed the cow and the ox and the wagon, went to another friend and said, "Can we leave it at your house?" And so they would store it over here, and they'd pay them a little bit. And then when the big boats came, they sold all of it until they became really, really, really rich. And so his life got better and better and better. But now let's find out what happened to the other family. Well, the beautiful girl went with the rich husband. He's like, "You know what? I'm super rich. You don't have to work. Just be comfortable. Just spend money and have fun. We will never run out of money." She's like, "Really? Cool. That's all I ever wanted. I just want to spend money." So every day she just spent more and more and more money. Every day she just kept spending money. Eventually she got pregnant and had a baby. Now, as you guys know, or maybe you don't know, in some places in Asia, when you have a baby, you use a cloth. You don't use a diaper, you use a cloth. And whenever the cloth gets dirty, you just wash it and then you can use it again. But this woman was so lazy and so spoiled. She says, "I'm just going to use it one time." So every time a baby pees or does number 2, they just throw it away. They just buy another piece. And people are like, "That's wasteful." And they're like, "No, we have so much money, we'll never run out." But over time, she kept doing this over and over until finally the rich man had no money left. And he says, "You said we'd never run out of money." He's like, "Yeah, we would never run out of money if you didn't spend money like a crazy person." And so they ended up becoming poor and becoming beggars. One day as they were begging, they walked past a certain neighborhood and they saw a big house. Inside the big house, they saw the fisherman and his new wife. And they said they were so embarrassed that they ran away, refusing to even say hi. So what is the moral of this story? This story teaches us that it's very important who your friends are, who your partner is, who your teammate. If you have a bad teammate that spends money all the time, is lazy, no matter how hard you work, you'll never be successful because you have a bad partner. But if you have a good partner, like the good wife, when you do something, you do hard work, they can help you, they can guide you. And so it's very important for all of you to be good friends to each other. When someone says, I'm lazy, I don't want to do my homework, you have to be the good friend that says, come on, let's do the homework first and play later. When someone's like, oh, let's play games, I don't want to do my homework, it's like, no, we got to do our homework first. We have to be good friends to each other so that we can increase our success together. เข้าใจไหม? สาธุ